What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today, I have another Air Jordan 1 to review, and these are the Jordan 1 Volt Golds. I was able to cop these online like a week and a half ago on the Nike website in my hometown, and these did sell out pretty quickly, but honestly, it wasn't that difficult to cop them. And I believe they did release like in the US maybe yesterday, I think. So yeah, I had these for a while, but I just had some other shoes that I wanted to get out of the way first. So here's a review for this shoe today. So let's actually start with the most noticeable detail on this shoe. So as the name of this shoe suggests, the colorway is Volt Gold, and as you can see here, you have a side flap with the Air Jordan Wings logo printed in black against this really Volt Gold leather material. What this reminds me of is the inner side of the flap that we've seen on the Biohack pair that released last year. The difference is that this is actually leather, and which is pretty smooth and nice to the touch, in contrast to what we saw on the Biohack, because I think that was like neoprene that was used on the flap of the shoe. And this flap of the shoe is lined with this kind of like black fabric here, and the QC is not too shabby. It's actually pretty nice, and once again, the leather quality is pretty nice here. It's really smooth here. And also, one of the details that pop out is the heel counter here, which is done in this yellow or gold leather. And once again, the leather quality on this heel counter is pretty nice as well. And another very cool detail on this pair is that Nike, or the Jordan brand, used this Volt green stitching for this part of the shoe, and I think that's a very subtle yet eye-catching touch that Jordan brand pulled off on this pair. Now, moving on to the mid panel of the shoe, this is done in this clean white colored leather, and what I've noticed is that when you feel this, the leather is quite smooth, and I think this is better quality leather compared to what we had seen on, say, like the Royal Toes last year. So I think they did step it up a little bit in terms of quality. It's not a huge difference, but once you have these in hand and feel the leather on here, you would probably know what I'm saying. And the swoosh is done in this dark black leather here, and the leather quality is also nice here as well. Moving a little further towards the front of the shoe, you see this side panel here that is done in black, as well as the eye stay that is done in black. A cool detail here is that Jordan brand implemented the flap detail here as well. I'm not really sure if that serves a huge purpose in terms of functionality, but I'll get to this a little later when discussing the overall theme of the shoe. So here, the tip of the shoe is also constructed in this really smooth matte black leather. And I'm really impressed by the quality of the leather, because they really stepped it up since the ones we have seen, say, like on the Royal Toes. And I'm really impressed by the leather quality here. And the toe box is once again done in that really crisp white leather here with the perforated holes. And what's interesting is that instead of using that OG black factory lace pre-laced onto the shoe, they decided to go with this kind of cream or sail colored lace, and I think that really adds this kind of like vintage vibe to the overall look of the shoe. And the tongue of this shoe is also done in this cream or sail nylon material. And once again, the interesting detail is that they also use this Volt green stitching on when lining this shoe. Moving a little up, this is one of the very controversial details that was implemented on this model. This is the Nike Air or Jordan Tab that we see on most Jordan 1 models. It's just that the material is different in that they decided to use this kind of semi-translucent gold-colored plastic tab, and then they decided to like kind of reverse it. So the back tab would be showing in the front area, and then once you look behind the tongue, you would see that Nike Air OG treatment done in this Volt green text here. So it is really controversial, but I think considering the very deconstructed look of the shoe, I think they did a pretty good job of, kind of, mixing in a little different elements into the shoe and then staying true to the overall theme of the shoe. So I guess I'm not a huge fan of what they did here, but it does make sense. I mean, we have plenty of other Jordan 1 models that have, the Nike Air tab the right way. So, why not try different things and why not, try new styles on this classic silhouette? Once again, the tab is stitched onto the tongue using that Volt green stitching. And this is very little. It's a very subtle touch, but it does make the shoe pop a little more, and it really sets it apart from any other regular Jordan 1. So I think it's a really cool detail. And speaking of details, we've seen this kind of like exposed sponge tongue here. I know that not a lot of people are huge fans of these, but once again, going back to the idea of this whole deconstructed look, almost like that off-whitish theme here, I think it's a very I guess the move makes sense on Jordan Brand's part of using this kind of like different style on this model. But I mean, it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. But I do appreciate that Jordan Brand is trying different things on their Jordan 1 silhouette. It's just that I don't want them to take it too far because I'm not really sure if this was necessary. I think the flap here was pretty cool, but this might be taking it a little too far. But anyways, that's just my opinion. And moving on to the inside of the shoe, I want to talk about the insole, where the insole is done in this kind of, I think it's white. Yeah, the white insole with the Nike Air text done in that Volt green color. And then the inner sock liner is done in this black fabric here. And these do come with the extra set of laces. It's this dark black lace, basically the OG lace that we see on any other Air Jordan 1 pair. And you can have the liberty to swap these out if you must. And probably one of the most controversial areas of the shoe is this the ankle area, where they use this exposed sponge material. Now, I know that I said I'm not a huge fan of the exposed sponge on the tongue, but I think that the yellow sponge is a little better because it adds to the vintage feel of the shoe, and it is a lot smoother and more plush. But this here is quite stiff, and it kind of gives off a feeling that the shoe is a little cheap. And I'm not really sure if that's necessarily what Jordan Brand wants to, convey to their consumers. And I don't know. If this part of the shoe was done in leather, I think I would have liked this pair a lot more. But I mean, I'm not hating. It's just staying true to that kind of deconstructed look of the overall shoe. So I can give Jordan Brand that. It's a point for that. They're just staying true to the overall theme of the shoe. So it is what it is. Basically, the inner side of the shoe is basically the same deal. And what I've noticed is that the midsole is actually not white. It is once again done in this cream or sail color. And I know a lot of people aren't fans of this sail, using too much sail on Jordan 1 silhouettes. But I feel like I'm repeating myself. But this does make sense in Jordan Brand's view because, it does, the sail color adds to that kind of vintage vibe to the shoe. So I think it was a reasonable choice from the brand. And the outsole is that just plain black outsole here with the typical traction pad in the front and the back that we see on all Jordan 1 models. So basically you can really trash these if you really want to, and it won't be a problem. Now, wearability wise, I do understand that this has some crazy colors such as like volt green and like gold here, but at the end of the day, the shoe is predominantly constructed in this black and white colors. So it is quite simple, with a little kind of like taste to the or like flavor to the shoe. So I don't think wearing these or like pulling these off would be that difficult. They would just basically go pretty much well with like all of your outfits. But I do want to mention that these are pretty or these would be better to wear in like the springtime or the summertime, just because it uses vibrant colors on the back area of the shoe. I definitely wouldn't wear these in the snow right now. I mean, the weather where I live is like crazy, so I just would probably like keep these in my closet until summer hits. But yeah, basically, I don't think wearing these would be too much of a problem. Now, sizing wise, this is a Jordan 1 model, so I would say true to size. If you want that extra room in the toe area, I guess you could go half a size up, but with all of my Jordan 1s, I just go true to size, and there's no problem with that. Uh, I did check the resale price on these, and they're basically going for like maybe $50 on top of retail price, so it's really not bad. And if you don't own a Jordan 1 pair and you do want to kind of cop a Jordan 1 pair that isn't too like expensive, I guess this would be a pretty good choice, just because like the overall colorway is pretty like, or the color blocking is pretty simple, and then it does kind of have that like extra like accents here. So I think this would be a reasonable pair to pick up paying resale, just because the price isn't too crazy. But if you have like a lot of Jordan 1 models in your collection already, I think that this model would be just a good one to pass on. I mean, I collect a lot of Jordan 1s, so these are definitely gonna stay with me. But if you had like limited budget or like limited space at your house, I mean, this is a pretty like easy pass for a lot of people. But having said that, I really like these because like when I first saw this pair online, I wasn't a huge fan of this like volt color and the way that they kind of like used two different colors on the back area of the shoe. But having these in hand, I really appreciate the quality on this pair. Like the QC is just like normal. It's just that the materials feel a lot more premium compared to like what we've seen like last year. Say like the Court Purple pair, or maybe the Royal Toes. I feel like I'm shitting on the Royal Toes, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that shoe. It's just that the material used on this pair feels a tad bit better compared to that one. So yeah, I really don't have that much against this shoe, and I think it's a really cool Jordan 1 pair to start off the year. So yeah, there are going to be a lot of Jordan 1s to release this year, and I mean, if you want to keep your cash in the pocket, that's always fine. But if you must cop these, it won't hurt your pocket at all because the resale price isn't that crazy. Anyways, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me and my channel grow. It really means a lot to me. And stay safe, and I'll keep pushing more content really soon. Thanks for watching.